Prince is online back.
Okay, can you hear me now, please? Yes, so like I said, the atmosphere is quite calm. Everybody is going about their businesses, and a lot of people listen to the broadcast of the president with rapt attention. And the reports and the comments have been quite commendable considering the events that shaped the electoral processes. But we're quite happy with what the government have done so far, and we are grateful to God that every time it seems that the country is descending into the abyss, you know, certain event takes place, and we are back. And I'm confident that we're on the path to attaining our position as the giant of Africa.
Thank you very much. We will come back to you, in terms of your expectations, or perhaps we could just take you now that your line is strong. What are your expectations? You heard from the president himself. As a champion of democracy, part of the struggle, to make sure that the Fourth Republic came about after the stillbirth of June 12, 1993. You heard from him. What are your comments at this time? The train has just started, about 14 days now, talking about the new administration. But we know that he himself knows that there are some tough bends to negotiate, but he's saying we should face it with courage.
I'm not surprised by the achievement of the president so far. I've been an ardent follower of the president right from the time he was governor, due to the fact that I was a former student union president in Lagos at the time when he was president. And this is a person that believes in an inclusive and open door policy. So, and he is able to identify some of the major challenges we're facing that demand immediate attention, and he has dealt with it with the experience that we have always preached during the time of the election. We are confident that the president will do more. The expectations are high, no doubt about it. But for those of us that knew the president, we know that he will always find his way around it. He will mobilize the necessary human capacity and resources to ensure that some of the problems that have bedeviled this country for a long time are permanently resolved. I'm one of those that have never for one day lose sleep about the capacity of the president to put Nigeria on the track of economic development and growth. So that's my thought for now.
Thank you very much, Akim Animashan. Let's come back to Prof. Philip Dahida. I was trying to share a story with you. We got into, the party, the office of a party chairman at the state level before an off-cycle election. And right behind him is a picture of ESCOs. 3 of them had joined new parties, and they were campaigning against the party at that time. But their picture was still on the wall behind them. What that means is that it seems as if it is about what even the dangerous word that politicians say, capture power, which doesn't sound democratic at all. When you say you capture power, we're still talking about a democratic, dispensation. It's all about this, getting to that seat, no matter how you get there.
Exactly, you're very right. Because if you look at even the political parties, the vehicle within which candidates are fitted for them to get their electoral fortunes. So sometimes if the space is not created for them to actualize their personal political ambition, they will do everything possible for them to realize that particular ambition. And that is the reason why you could see, even if the electoral process that produces a particular governor and the deputy governor, at the time, if they are not on equilibrium, you see a lot of them leaving that particular political party for another. It happens even during the time of Obasanjo. When Atiku wanted to become a president, he left the PDP and went for STN, I think so that he can actualize his own presidential ambition. So the Atiku party as an instrument for them to realize their political objectives. So if there are hindrance, blockage in the process, they can look for any alternative at all. Because personally, I believe that any person that has capacity to lead a particular office, it doesn't it doesn't matter on the particular political platform you're coming from. It is based on an individual. Today, if a Tinubu is not even in APC, if you give him another political party, he can still demonstrate and also perform better. Because what is in him, nobody can take it away from him. So personal idiosyncrasy, philosophy, dexterity of ingenuity of propelling forward the development of democracy depends on individuals. And that is the reason why you could see it even in the same political platform. You could see different governors, in the same political parties performing very differently based on individual governor. For instance, even in PDP, you could see some other governor performing like the likes of Wike, the likes of Odo Emmanuel Akwaibon and all. Whereas there are some governors in APC that are not even performing very well. You could also see some governors in APC doing credibly very, very well. So it is a kind of a vehicle for people to realize their political ambitions. And when the political journey hit rock in a particular political party, they seek for another alternative. So in that case, you could see a governor having been in a particular political party, his deputy going to a different political party because his intention to realize his own political ambitions were not allowed by a particular political party. So I think they are very right. The only thing is that there must be this kind of a liberal process within which candidates are produced for primaries. You see, the primaries is always a problem. That is where the money bags, that is where the governors have strong hold, and they will begin to allocate who becomes what and who goes for what position and what. It's a problem. So the people that have credibility, who given free mandate for them to come and participate in the electoral process in this country, were not given because the government does not like your face, which is very bad and very dangerous for a democratic journey that today we're celebrating. So I feel there should be much better reforms ahead so that even in our constitution, in our electoral act, and also the political party constitution, they should liberalize and make an open door policy within which the primaries are held and all, and then to give citizens a fair opportunity for them to participate, to select people at the various primaries who is going to represent them at various elected positions.
Dr. Magalu, if taking it from Prof, moving forward now and talking about the dividends, how much, apart from the 4-year cycle, how much penetration as a democratic, process permitted to the people, percolated into people in terms of even the belief, first that votes will count, secondly in even interrogating the governance processes. Do you, for instance, as political leaders, take the views of the people before going through implementation or introducing policies? Or is it just about your think tank and all that? What about the people? For instance, you are trying to give them rail. What they actually want is your own waterway. And you are insisting on rail because that follows your own, ideas. How much of the people, are you carrying along since it's about the people?
Yeah. Let me begin by, first of all, firstly saying, with regards to what Prof said, the recruitment process in terms of primaries, for you to get the right people, the party must provide a credible process. One of the major challenges we have is the insincerity of party leaderships and the lack of credibility of the process. In an attempt, you throw up candidates who are not acceptable to the people, but because of pecuniary interests, you find out that at the end of the day, you throw up candidates who lack electoral credibility and marketability. Having said that, the right thing to do before a party comes up with its manifesto is to engage the people. Because in developing a political party manifesto, you must look at what does the people want. Because you're looking at a way or how to reach them, how to get their buy-in, for them to be part of the process. So that at the end of the day, your party can be very acceptable to them. And the only way you can achieve that is when you take into account their desires, and their expectations. If you do it because of what you think, sitting back in your office, as you give them what you think they need, you may end up not providing a manifesto that is acceptable to the people. So you must develop a platform, you must develop a system to engage them, to find out what the people need. That's why in every political party, there's a research and development department, whose responsibility it is to engage the people, find out what they need so that you can get it as part of your manifesto. Secondly, that is why you have a platform in a democratic setting. You have a platform like the legislature. Every constituency in Nigeria today is adequately represented in the National Assembly. Every of this constituency is also represented in the State Assembly. The primary responsibility of these our representatives whom we have elected to bring to Abuja is for them to take our needs to the center. Is for them to come and represent our interests. Look at what we need to change, to make our lives better, and bring it up for national discourse, so that in the course of budgetary allocation, our interests are now accommodated. Because not everybody in my constituency, for example, will come to Abuja. That is why we have elected somebody who we have sent to Abuja to stand and speak for us, whose message is to carry, whose primary responsibility is to carry our expectation, our needs, and bring it to the center, so that whenever the budget of the center is being considered, those areas of interest for which he knows where we need it will now be brought to the fore and accommodated. So it is not a case of sitting down and thinking for the people what they should get. And that is why platforms are provided. For those in the National Assembly, for example, they must have routine town hall meetings within their constituencies to make themselves available to be questioned. Hear what the people are saying, look at the needs, because they didn't fall from the moon. They came from these constituencies. And if we have 10 constituencies in Nigeria, all of us cannot come to Abuja. But the man from Kano, whose constituency is in Kano, is coming to the National Assembly. The man whose constituency is in River State is also coming to the National Assembly. And the need for my own personal constituency certainly will be different from the need of the other man's constituency. So it is now when we now all come together, we aggregate these needs and then look at it in line with the resources that is available to government, and then apportion it for the benefit of the people.
All right, let's go to Prince Anima Shaun in Lagos and perhaps look at some aspects of the president's address on Democracy Day earlier in the day, because he was talking about the rule of law, which is a key part of democracy. He said, he was making allusion to a vibrant judiciary that can deliver justice and strengthen those institutions. How can this be actualized, especially in the current situation where people believe there is compromise in every sector?
Thank you very much. Before I answer your question, I would just like to make an addition to what Dr. Mogali said, that the representatives, the political parties, they create the manifestos, and on those such platforms, representatives are elected. I think the duty of the political party is not just about winning elections. It's very, very important that political party follow up with this representative of our various party, because the representatives, they are ambassadors of the party, and if they've made promises to the electorate, they have made campaign promises to the people. The political party as well should follow up to ensure that they actually go to the National Assembly or whatever positions they are holding, and they are keeping up to their promises. That should equally form the basis upon which party candidates or aspirants are screened in subsequent elections, to ensure that you have actually implemented the manifesto of the party. That's on the one side. With respect to the rule of law and how very much other arms of government can contribute to the development of our democracy, I think it's very, very vivid what the president has said has been very, very vital and an integral aspect of the development of our democracy. Like, for instance, in Lagos, the reason why we have a vibrant institutions is because of the fact that government has made available, remunerations and independence of the judiciary to such an extent that judges, magistrates, are independent and they have that confidence to deliver justice to litigants. It is very, very essential that the other arms of government are autonomous, they are independent, such that they cannot be compromised. We cannot deny the fact that very few percentage of our population believes that if you go to court, you'll get justice, and justice delayed is justice denied. Aside from the fact that there's loss of confidence, there is equally the belief that the wheel of justice is very slow. There are certain reforms that needs to be carried out in the judiciary to ensure that at every point in time that litigants go to court, they are able to get justice within a very, very short period of time. Because if justice is not delivered as at when due, it might be a fait accompli for the litigant or for the claimant at that point in time. So the president is very, very correct that other arms of government need to be reformed, need to be empowered, they need to be autonomous, such that they can contribute their quota to the development of our nascent democracy. The Electoral Act had made provisions for the timeline in which petitions should be decided. I think it should equally go to other areas of litigations, from criminal litigations to civil litigations, such that everybody that is approaching the court, they are going there with the confidence that they will get justice, and they will not just get justice, they will get justice at the right time.
Briefly, and ask you what you think the low-hanging fruit should be in terms of this administration to further deepen confidence in our democratic processes, as well as the also, perhaps, get the buy-in of the Nigerian in this project in terms of deliverables, that we can quick gains, quick wins as the administration sets sail.
Can you repeat the question again, please?
Based on, our current realities, what would be, the low-hanging fruits that the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should target, first to deepen trust in our democratic processes, as well as also ensure that, the generality of the populace have a buy-in into all, the concepts that his administration is sharing with us?
Thank you very much. I want to strongly believe that some of those low-hanging fruits is the decisive way and manner the president has handled the issue of subsidy, and the directive that palliative measures should be taken to cushion the effect of the removal of subsidy. Another area that I, in my own opinion, would serve the interest of the populace within a very short time is the issue of the exchange rate. The proper management of our economy is very, very critical, and the president has done very well in putting up a team led by the vice president to ensure that some of those hardships that have been suffered by the majority of Nigerians are given proper attention. But in my own opinion, the issue of the currency, how would I put it now? The issue of the currency exchange is very, very critical at this point in time, because it had affected businesses. And I strongly believe that if that is done, it will improve a lot of things for a lot of Nigerians, especially those in the diaspora.
Prof is right here. Prof, you are a public, an expert of public administration. And administration is starting. It's just in days. We are just about 2 weeks now into this administration, exactly 2 weeks. What would you, be looking out for to make sure that, we get on an even keel and we begin to see the dividends of democracy, as it were?
Okay, in the first place, for us to enjoy the dividends of democracy, we must make sure that all the institutions work. We're in the federation structure, where we have 3 layers of governance: the federal, the state, and local government. So Tinubu alone at the federal level cannot achieve without the subnationals. So the decentralization of state structures and institutions and functions, devolution of powers, should be one of the most paramount issues that the new government should focus on. He has started very well, even in the area of electricity generation. The bill has been passed. The state governors have the right now, or the state has the right now to generate electricity and all, but that is not enough. We must have to concentrate on local governance, the local government administration. Why is it that it's not working? The bulk of the people who reside at the grassroots level, the dividend of democracy, the representation is there by creating subnation, and that is the third tier of governance. But it's not working at all. So I believe that what Tinubu government should do very quickly is to make sure that the restructuring of the system must begin with the local government, should be giving certain independence, so that devolution of powers should be translated to the local governance, because they are the government that are very close to the people at the grassroots level. As it is now, we are still having the issue of state-local government joint account, and the state governors still commandeer the resources that are meant for local government for policy implementation. It's a very big problem. So that issue must be tackled immediately. And administrative reforms in terms of restructuring local government system in this country must be enhanced. As it is now, we're only saying we have the three tiers of government. We don't even have, because local government is just a prefect that is being uncome from the center. That is from the state governors. They just send some prefect there to go and adjudicate and also transform certain realities which is not even in existence. The elections of local government, who conduct it? The state INEC, which is within the ambit jurisdiction of the local government or the state government and all. So just reforms to take place, and the national INEC should be able to conduct election for local government and all. Today, even if local government wants to do roads, construct federal roads and all, they don't even have the manpower, because the recruitment process is very, very cumbersome. You must go to the local government area council service commission at the state level. They're the one that recruits staff on behalf of local government. So if you need an engineer, they can even recruit and post somebody that read Islamic studies or religious studies to you. How can you use that person to construct road and all? Where you needed architects, engineers, medical doctors. The medical healthcare system that was supposed to deliver to people at the grassroots level must be anchored on qualified personnel. And for you to achieve that, local government have to recruit. But as it is now, they don't even have the capacity. They must have to come back to the area council service commission to recruit for them and all, which is a very big, serious problem that is confronting for effective service delivery at the grassroots level. So that reform for Tinubu to achieve the success of dividends of democracy being delivered to the people at the grassroots level, since he cannot do it alone, drastic reform must be commenced in making sure that local government works for the good benefit of Nigerians and all. And apart from that, the reforms must also have to come into educational sector. Our universities must have to work. You can remember what happened in the last administration and all. Lecturers were on strike for a couple number of months and all, and they were not paid salaries and all of that.
Have you received yours?
You said?
Have you received yours now?
Yeah, we started receiving, but almost 9 months salary has not been paid up to today. So how do you motivate lecturers who have not been paid almost 9 months to go back to class and do what? So in that area, Tinubu must have to look into it very carefully and reform educational sector by way of emolument, by way of increment of salaries and other welfare and all that, so that students can also have a good calendar in the public universities to comparatively compete with the private university system in this country and all. The judicial system is there. The reform has started. It has increased the retirement age for other category of the judiciary too. So that before, I think it was only the judges that were supposed to retire at the age of 70, but now I think other judicial officers too can retire at the age of 70 and all of that. So the kind of hope is given to even the judicial arms of government. And they should be even giving more attention in terms of social welfare packages. Because most of the problem we have within the judicial system in Nigeria, we link it to corruption. We always talk about corruption, but when the salaries are increased, utility vehicles are increased, and several packages are also increased, they will have hope that even after retirement, they have better packages. So they will not indulge into corruption at all. So reform in that area is very, very critical. That's the judiciary arm of government.
All right, let me quickly say I fell into your trap when I asked low-hanging fruit. I knew you would deviate into education, but it's okay because you actually needed to make those interventions. But let's look at Nigerians now. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu played an active role in the June 12, 1993 saga. He's currently, the man, leading the current administration, which is being urged to re-engineer Nigeria for greater prosperity. This dominated expectations of many Nigerians talking about Nigeria going forward. It was put together by our reporter, Timothy Yusuf.
Chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, the umbrella body of the 18 registered political parties, Yabagi Yusuf Sadi, was coordinator, North Central Presidential Campaign Committee of the NRC's Bashir Tofa in 1993, while Mohammed Saleh Hassan was a student in Jos, Plateau State in 1993. He said he voted the late MKO Abiola in the then election. They therefore played active role alongside President Tinubu, who was then of the SDP. 30 years down the ladder, so far, how far?
The democratic journey has been on a forward march with all the problems that we are having. So perhaps if we didn't have that experience of annulment and the reaction of Nigerians to that annulment, maybe some people may have also, for one flimsy reasons or the other, upset what we are doing in terms of building democracy. So I think it was an experience, as bitter as it was, that was of benefits to strengthening democracy itself.
All Nigerians should be congratulated, and we should all congratulate ourselves for consecutively being in democracy since 1999 to date without any hindrance or any military intervention. This is a very good development for Nigeria. As giant of Africa, we are happy and proud of it.
Fast forward to 2023. The All Progressives Congress, APC, has in the last 8 years tried to fulfill its 3 cardinal campaign promises of improving the country's economy, combating insecurity, and fighting corruption. Many believe that Nigeria is not yet where it should be as expected.
One, I can assure you this government is going to do well because they have started well. The first day of office, they have removed subsidy with the promise of renewed hope. I believe they are going to do the right thing. Nigerians will be happy because from the start, I know the end will be good.
It was a seamless transition from one administration to another on the platform of the same party, the APC. Nigerians expect from the government of President Bola Tinubu the capacity to make a difference in governance.
Renewed hope is here, and it's not for an individual, it's not for APC alone, it's for all Nigerians.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a blessing to Nigeria because he sacrificed so much for the stability of democracy in Nigeria. So I believe that everyone will work towards peace of Nigerians.
This is the time to sheath our sword and give Asiwaju the benefit of doubt.
The period of elections and campaigns are over. Now is the period of nation building.
The cases before the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal and the struggle for the National Assembly leadership, among others, are necessary hiccups that have to become a thing of the past soon.
Nigerians have spoken. They decided to go for APC. Let them come so that at least we'll sit together and move this country forward.
I urge Mr. President to be president for all. It should not be president for one ethnic or one political party because Nigeria is one great nation. And I believe if we promote that unity, we're going to have better development than even the past governments put together.
With high expectations that the present government should re-engineer the polity of the country, analysts believe that for the past 8 years of the APC government and the previous People's Democratic Party (PDP) government, Nigeria has been on a slow